Hey, welcome to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. I am, of course, Liv. I'm so glad you're here. You guys, we just got to 6 months of this show. When I was asked to put together a late night show, it was a dream that I've had for a really long time. And we're so close to the dream of what I really want it to look like, but it's going pretty well. I can't believe we're already at 6 months. In some ways, it feels like, how did we get here so quickly? And then also like, wow, it feels like we've done this forever. It feels like we've done this every day, and we don't. We batch record the show. So usually we're producing like 3-4 shows at a time in one day. I wanted to take a moment and just kind of reflect on some of the best moments of the show that have happened thus far. So right now I'm filming this in January, and January 8th was the official 6-month anniversary of the show. This is not airing on the 8th, but it is airing just like a week after. What's so cool is the amount of people who have been supportive of everything that has happened, the guests that have happened, the moments that have happened, the funny things that have happened, the really cool, like interesting, didn't know that kind of stuff. Meeting people who are watching the show, running into people and them saying like, hey, I watch your late night show. Like, I don't watch it on Thursday, I'm going to be honest, but I do tune in, or I do listen to it later, or you know what, it got me through work and I just kind of threw it on and it made me laugh and it was just something really cool. And you introduced me to people that I've never heard of. Or people who do know the people that I'm interviewing and they're like, I would have never thought anyone would have interviewed them. Like my brother is 10 years. I have 3 brothers. I have one brother who's 10 years younger than I am. So we have very different lives. He is in a totally different ballpark than I am. He's a way better human being than I'll ever be. But he is in that beginning of his life, his marriage just turned like 10 years old. I've been married over 20 years. He's still having babies. Like his wife is pregnant with their 5th child. So they're still in the little kid stuff. And I have a kid that graduated and went away and, is starting his life as a person. He's not there. He's still in diapers and, camping and all sorts of stuff that you do when you're young and you've got your young family and you're still growing your family. We had the Wallivers on last week and they have a show called Benjamin Cello. And it's on Formed. A lot of people, whatever. I got more feedback from families with young kids saying, we love Benjamin Cello. I had never heard of Benjamin Cello. I had never heard of the Wallivers. Like I had never, the show has opened my horizons, has opened my small circle into bigger circles, into knowing more than where I'm at, because my season of life is so different. I have old kids, and yeah, I'm not a new bride, I'm, young. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know some of these things. So to hear feedback from other people who are in those seasons saying, well, I never see someone from where I'm at in my life, in my marriage, in my, we had Claire McAllen, who is single and an artist who lives in Boston. So, I got some feedback from women that are in their early 20s going, I love Claire. Like she's like the voice of what's going on in the dating life and the dating realm of Catholicism. I felt represented. That's really cool. Like to have such a spread of guests and excitement and things that we're bringing in these last 6 months that has touched more than just my 3 friends, you know what I mean? Or the 2 people I know. That's what I think is so cool. That's what I think is so great about the show, about It's Not That Late. That's what's great about late night television. You're learning and growing about people, things that are happening in the world that maybe you didn't know about. Maybe you had never heard of. And I think that that's really great that so many people are connecting with the show. I've got viewers who are Catholic. I have viewers who are atheist. I have viewers who are agnostic. And I love that. I loved that this is a show that my 97-year-old grandmother has watched. And it's a show that my puppy dog watches. I'm not kidding. My dog will watch it. He'll sit and he knows that I'm on the TV. Is that ridiculous? Yes, it is. But we love Jack. The point is that anybody can watch the show. It's not geared towards one person, one faith, one gender, one age group. or one season of life. That's what we've accomplished in 6 months. To see the team change, to see the crew change, to see us get better at writing, to see us get better at, coming up with characters or funny sketches to do, or, interesting games to play, or, something we could do visually, because we're having to think of, this is going to be a show that's watched or listened to, or both. So we've got to make sure the people listening can understand what's happening, or the people watching are entertained, or the people that are doing both aren't bored. And then we're coming with new content all the time. So being in this space and getting to do this for 6 months and getting to where we are now we're doing live shows with, we're not broadcasting live, but we're doing it in front of crowds. We're doing it for fundraisers. I'm going to be announcing this very soon with a lot of details, but I'll be taking my first pilgrimage as a headliner. Actually, my first pilgrimage ever. I'm actually doing 2 this year. Just booked 2. And the first one is mine, and I'm headlining it. And here's what they agreed to. I'm going to do the show while we're on the pilgrimage. We're going to get the whole group together. We're going to show everybody what we do. We're going to have the cameras and the mics and do something a little different than maybe what everybody's used to. So it's just, the sky's the limit. And I just want to say thank you again. I know I probably seem like I do this every single time, but thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your encouragement. I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open to writers. Like, I need content ideas. You guys are a part of this, and you are in every single thought that we have when we're creating it. It's an intentional show. So, hey, here's to the next 6 months. Who knows where we're going to be? We have some big plans already of what we're already planning and what we're doing and how we're recording and for the studio. The studio is getting completely redone by an architect and a contractor, and it's going to look insane. So you guys, thank you so much for the last 6 months. Enjoy this little put together of my favorite interviews, my favorite moments. I tried to pull together and put together a show that I hope you would like. I'm taking us back to the very first interview I ever did for the show with Allison Sullivan. She was so sweet to come and take a chance on me and came in studio, one of the very few studio guests I got to have because we're in a pandemic. So let's bring it back to the beginning. We'll start with Allison and watch that interview in case some of you are just coming in and don't know who she is and what she does. She's a big TikTok star and Catholic and incredible, one of my closest girlfriends. Taylor is now my in-studio producer. So I've got the first time of Taylor and I at the desk. And when Taylor and I are eating cupcakes, that's a hilarious episode. So just a couple of the best moments that putting together one big show. It's not like a montage. It's like, here is an interview. Here is the best, one of our favorite guest segments. Here is our favorite, extra segment, that kind of thing. So enjoy this tribute to the last 6 months of It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. I want to bring in Taylor because Taylor has the opposite growing up with me. As we all know, Taylor is now producing the show, Taylor Schroll, and he likes to sing a lot. And Taylor grew up with all sisters and not brothers. And this is why I think you and I actually get along so well, because I'm really comfortable hanging out with guys. I've always said I'm a guy's gal. And we all know that, you're just one step away from being a lady. I'm kidding.
Well, I'm just going to go.
No, it's not true. Taylor's actually one of the most manly men I know. He's a coach and he does
also
all these
not true.
things.
We went way too far.
See, I do that. I go way too far. But let me ask you, do you think you suffered because you had I know you love your sisters. I know you do. But did it change how you interacted with guys? Like as you came into your own? Or make you better?
I think I have better relationships with women than I do with the guys in my life. Yeah. I think it's because I was surrounded by women my entire life.
Right. So kind of the similar, like kind of the same. Like that's why I've always had best guy friends.
Yes, you and I are the same.
That is true. We are as much as it pains him, we are very similar. And this is probably one of the biggest ways. And I think it is because I had brothers. And so I'm used to guys. Like I'm used to talking to guys, hanging out with guys. I like what they talk about. Like I can't hang out with women when they start talking about laundry and like lice and things like that. I peace out. Like I end up smoking a cigar and having whiskey with the husbands on, the front porch. But you don't sit around and talk about laundry and stuff. Like what? And you're a sports guy though, and you play video games. So what is it for you? Why do you think that like you connect better with women? I don't know, than guys? Because I still feel like you're kind of a guy's guy. No?
I mean, I'm like Paul. I've become all things to all people. I've learned to do all of it. I mean, like, it's just one of those things that like guys' friendships, especially like growing up, are very different. Like growing up, the girls were always fighting. And like, I think as women get older, they're not fighting as much anymore. Not that it goes away, but like guys, like legitimately, I got in a actual fist fight, including like helmets being thrown with the punches. Like it's the dumbest thing in the world. When football players get in fights, the first thing they do is they take off their headgear, which is silly. But I got in a fight with a guy. Guess who drove him home that day?
You did.
I did.
Y'all are so weird. Y'all are so weird. Y'all can literally punch each other and it's done. Where women were like, okay, that one time in third grade when you said my lipstick was like not cool, and it was cool because I'm in third grade. Why do you have lipstick in third grade? That's a terrible analogy.
I did.
Taylor. But it's true. Like we will be like, so she's not my friend anymore. Like it's over. Like we'll hold on to it or we'll think whatever. And I've had so many girlfriends be like, I forgot I said that to you, or I don't know, or like whatever. But guys, y'all can like punch each other and you're done and you're over it. But yet you still hang out. Like I know Allison and I are two of your best friends, and we're both women and we're both older than you by a lot, which I think is hilarious. But that's okay for you. Like, I don't know why. Why, Taylor? Let's crack this nut open.
I learned that in friendship, like everybody in friendship, you give some and then you take some, right? Well, I learned that eventually, if I became y'all's friends, I could become y'all's clients. And old women tend to have a lot of money, and they could then give me that money. So this is all a long con.
You want to be in my will?
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, these are the things Taylor teases me about: money and being older. Here's the thing. If you're older, you have more money than Taylor. Like, that's not hard. He's 9, okay? It's easy to have more money than Taylor. Second of all, I mean, I'm not that much older, Taylor. But yeah, those are his favorite things to pick on me about. I love that you just admitted to everybody that you use Allison and I, and that we're not really friends.
It's never been a secret. It's been quite obvious to everyone.
He's also kidding. He loves us tremendously, and he actually is a good friend, but he doesn't want us to tell people that. He has a rep to uphold. So yeah,
I want your parents and fans to continue to despise me. That's all I want in life. I did it by naturally, and they hate me anyway. So why not just lead into it?
They do not. They love you. And I tell them all the time what a good guy you actually are. But yeah, I have to say, it took me a long time to make peace with women. Not that Alicia like ever calls, but with actual women in my life. And the guest who we're going to have today, which I'm pretty excited that she's here. And by pretty excited, I mean, I'm trying not to scream. Taylor hates when I do that. Y'all, this woman is one of the greatest women I know. She is a huge, huge person in my life about female relationships and women and how that works. And she's a really good female relationship. Like, she is like the bridge that brought me from Alicia to the rest of the world. That's not true at all. She used to live in DC. She just moved to Raleigh. You guys, she happens to be in town because she flew in, and I'm going to call her up in a second. I don't want you to go anywhere. I'm talking about Laura Rowland. You have time to go find out who she is because you're going to be as excited as I am. Don't go anywhere. You are tuned into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison, and I'm still your host, Liv Harrison. I'm really excited because, first of all, it's our first episode, so we're getting, the feel of everything, and just kind of, I'm in a garage. And the thing is who would know? I wanted to have an in-person guest for my very first show so I can impress you, so you have a reason to return. Here's the thing, though. We're not going to always have in-person guests. So this is special because, people don't know who I am. They don't know that they want to fly in and to do this show, but they're going to know. And this is going to be the guest to convince them. This is an incredible woman that I've known since she was younger. We were in school together, as in high school. I feel like junior high, but I was wrong with that. So we're going to go with high school. I was wrong. She has now become a huge part of my life. She wasn't for a long time. So for those of you who are in high school, go to bed. But you can reconnect with people, even though it's been years. She now is a big deal on this little tiny app called TikTok. And you might know her from that fame. If you don't, and you are Catholic, you might know her from the Genius Conference, all 100 of you. If that's not where you know her from, she is a speaker and an author, and soon to be famous LA actress because she has a agent, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I am now, of course, talking about the gorgeous and talented and my dear friend, Allison Sullivan. Everyone not in the audience, clap for Allison Sullivan. It's JW. JW is clapping. And Allison, clap for yourself.
Hi, Liv.
Hi, friends.
I'm so happy to be here. Okay, it definitely was high school. It's not we're going to go with high school. Like, it was high school.
I just really remember junior high with you.
No, and you had this much more pleasant high school experience than I did.
I did.
And,
We've talked about it.
I think that, like, high school for me was this watering hole in the wild where it was like, you can't show a limp, man. You got to strut. You know,
and I limped.
No one wants to be like the first one snatched up in the watering hole. And I just, for me, I wish that high school would have been more of like a, I don't know, like a hospital waiting room or something where it's like, I've got my slings and my bandages. No, where it's like, we're all just kind of externalizing our pain here. We can see like, what you got.
You're here for this.
And then we can be honest about it. But for me, high school was like pretending to be fine. I was pretending to be fine, except I wasn't really fine. And I feel like you were actually really fine.
Because I didn't know. I didn't know that we were doing that. I didn't know that we weren't supposed to come out with our slings and our bandages. I was like, oh, this is so great, everybody. And everyone was like, that's different. So yeah, I didn't know. And it wasn't until our, my reunion, I won't say which one, Allison, because that's just rude.
It is. Yeah.
Even though we didn't graduate the same class. I think I'm a class ahead of you.
Yeah, just
one. But it wasn't until then that I realized it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I thought everybody hated me.
Right.
And they were like, we thought you were funny. And I was like, really? Because I was the chubby girl. I was, very, very overweight. Not kind of.
Yeah, my reunion was really healing for me too. It was like,
healing.
oh, well, look, I'm not the only one who matured nicely. This is great.
You guys did okay.
And we really did grow up together and had really neat experiences.
Yeah.
So it became nostalgic.
Nice. So that was high school.
Anyways, yeah.
But we did theater a little bit and some other things. And you, my friend, have continued. What's interesting is that you were not Catholic when we were in high school.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Where were you?
I was just...
How is that for a question? Allison, what were you in you guys? I am a professional.
Incurably human is what I was. No, I loved Young Life.
Yeah.
So I just had this very happy, clappy faith experience.
Right. Rise and shine. Yeah. Because
we really worked for me. I loved it.
Okay. So Protestant.
Yes.
Non-denominational?
Non-denominational.
Yeah. Okay. So we went to a high school called Klein. I'm going to say it. We went to Klein High School. In fact, so this is a late night show. Go Bearcats. We kind of, okay. One of us loved it. Letterman had us on his top 10 of top 10 most snobby high schools in America.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, we're kind of the worst. Yeah. So it was a tough high school. I mean, like you would go into the parking lot and everybody had like, at the time, the cool cars were like Mercedes and Beamers. I mean, now they'd be Teslas, I had a 87 Nissan Sentra.
I had a little black Splash. You know those little black Ranger trucks?
Stop. You had a truck? You had a Ranger truck?
This is my 4 Enneagram. I'm like, I will not have the Camaro that everyone's driving around right now. I'm going to have a little black, what's it called? Stepside truck?
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, we should have been better friends than that. We weren't. We really weren't friends.
It was called a Splash.
In high school.
I had a black Splash.
I love that you want everybody to know. Guys, write this down. Allison, a black, I've never even heard of that. But, okay, so we graduate from high school. You hated it. I loved it, but didn't know I should have hated it. And then you went off to Texas A&M. We're in a high school that is in Houston, Northwest Houston. That's where Klein is, if you want to look us up. We're not there now. And you went to Texas A&M.
True.
And what did you get a degree in?
Special education.
Really?
Yes. I taught special ed for 6 grueling years.
Which led her into her TikTok career. No, I'm just kidding. How is that for a transition? Has zero to do with anything.
Well, I mean, I really do think that teaching a classroom is a lot about like insisting on being captivating. Like, I'm going to hold y'all's attention. So
tune in and only watch me.
I mean, I was the actress of my classroom for sure.
So this was all in the making.
Yeah.
Allison, we've had personal talks about this as friends, about how now we're coming into what our dreams always were, of what we always wanted to do with our lives.
Yeah. You know, I feel like for me, a lot of becoming older and wiser has been releasing this idea of perfection. So I love the question of what would you do if you didn't have to do it perfectly? And so there's isn't that a great question? Like, I mean,
well, apparently the show's joining Allison now because she doesn't have enough. She's going to take over my show. That's great. I'm going to sit with JW. Well, I feel like I should answer. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
No, go ahead.
But
That's
I think, you know, because what if we didn't care about outcome? What if we did something just for the thrill of it? And so there's something about acting that has been that way for me, because a part of perfectionism for me is dealing with the question of that inside voice that's so mean, right? That says you're going to do it wrong. Mm-hmm. But getting rid of perfection for me is about shrugging my shoulders at that sentence and making peace with it and going, yeah, I am. I'm going to do it wrong.
And I'm going to survive.
I've never done this before. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so acting for me has just been, I mean, all caps freedom, because I can say, yeah, I'm probably going to do it wrong. And any other art that I've dabbled in, whether it's writing or speaking or whatever, it's like I've always had one eye on the audience, where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to do it wrong. What are they going to think about that? And I was literally in acting classes with literal children. Okay. I have stacks of folded laundry that are older than these kids I'm in class with. And I'm watching them get up there and act and do their thing. And they don't care what I think.
Oh, yeah.
They're kids.
9. Yeah. What do they care?
And so that I get up there with my adult life of hard knocks, been banged around by the world. And I get up there and I do what they do, where I'm like, I'm not going to care what anybody thinks.
I love that.
And so like literally becoming like a child and learning something just for the thrill of it has just been a wild ride. And I love it.
You have awakened. Like, we don't want to say certain words on this show, not cuss words. Those we want. And I'm kidding. We don't want to say those either.
I speak French.
It's not, it's not that late. And it is airing on a Catholic network. So we got to keep, the 3 people that are listening. So, but here's the thing. We don't want to talk about what happened in March 2020 because, they'll shut that down, or they'll cancel us because you're not allowed to say certain words, or they'll put up, I don't know, things to the government.
Okay.
But you know what happened in March 2020. You actually married a cutie of a little doctor who is an infectious disease doctor who really knows what was going on in March 2020 and now. So you know what I'm talking about. Before that happened, before the lockdown, before the pause, before those other words we want to say, you were not doing acting.
Right.
You were speaking, you were writing.
Right.
I was chasing you. You were doing a podcast. You were telling me to have a podcast.
Yes, for sure.
We were rekindling our friendship.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, we're way better friends now than we ever were when we were younger.
In high school. Sure.
By tremendous leaps and bounds. So this came upon you how? Did it start with TikTok? I feel like it's the chicken or the egg.
I know.
Did you just wake up and you did TikTok, or you woke up and you had an agent? Like, I need a timeline.
Okay.
And for the people watching, the people listening, take us, Allison, through the lockdown.
Right.
March 2020.
So it's interesting because 2 things were happening simultaneously, but very separately. So my kid has always asked, ever since he could ask questions, what do you have to do to be in a commercial? And I have always answered honestly that I don't know. Except when that happened in 2020, something made all of our worlds a lot smaller. But there was something in that smallness that made me a better listener. And so instead of saying, I don't know, I said, you know what, I'll find out. And so I did, I found out. And so we went to this audition that I thought was for a commercial. Turns out it's to be a part of a team that's going to go to LA and try to get an agent. But, and so we just started taking these classes together. Meanwhile, in order to stay friendly with one another in very close proximity while stuck in the house.
We were in the pause. We were in the great pause.
The great pause.
That's what I call it.
Of 2020. It's good.
2020.
It's a good name.
Thank you.
We were like, let's make some videos together to try to stay friendly with one another.
Okay.
Like, let's entertain ourselves. Because here's the thing, there's bored, but then there's like, I should watch Tiger King bored. And let me tell you that after watching Tiger King, making TikToks with your kids sounds perfectly reasonable.
You're like, that is a natural, I'm a good parent.
Yeah. You're like, oh, but I don't dance, or like, oh, I hear it's like really taboo. And that's true. Like the TikTok dances are actually really hard. I don't know why I thought I could be on the dance team in high school. And there is a lot of shredding of taboos that I would not want my kids to have TikTok without me. So you know what? Let's do this thing together. And so we create these TikToks through a family lens, and it's a great way to be creative. And the truth of the matter is, Liv, is that during this on hold time, I needed this new outlet of entertainment where people gathered together and they laughed. I loved watching the way these people were coping, because let's be honest, Facebook is about your slant, right? It's sharing your articles. It's your opinions. Twitter is your hot take. Instagram is your beauty. TikTok is your humor. Oh, and I was like, I needed this.
Can we put that on a t-shirt? Like, right. I feel like, it's like, are they listening? Are they listening? All the social media guys. Yes. JW, can you get on that? Can you send that to, I got you. Elon Musk. I don't know. Does he? I have no names. I know no one. Okay. That was very sad. Wow. I love that. So what was the first date of your first TikTok?
I don't even know. It was in March.
It was in March. Mm-hmm. And predominantly, you do this with your son, Silas.
Yes, he's the 12. One. Yes, and he just likes it the most and has the most patience for it.
Yeah, and y'all are hilarious. So it's a mother-son duo. Yeah. And when you first came on the scene, how many followers did you have?
I truly do not even know.
Okay, I think I'm one. I think you're the only person I'm following. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not on. I have it, but I haven't done TikTok at all. Which is I've done zero.
405,000.
405,000. So over 400,000 followers you now have. Yes. So we're talking like a year later. Yes. You have 400,000. But let's talk about the one follower that I care the most about. And it's because of her deep religion. No, it has nothing to do with religion at all. This woman looks good in a leotard. Let's just be really. This one also. This one's working on it. When I'm 80. Listen, then we'll change the name of the show to It's Really Late with Liv Harrison, because I'll wear a leotard every night. Glitter. But that's why it's not that late. I'm not going to wear that. Okay, you know who I'm talking about. And I have two questions. Yeah. One, how did this person find your TikTok? And two, are they still a follower? The people are dying to know. Okay, yes. That's why they're here.
Okay, so J-Lo follows us.
As in Jennifer Lopez?
As in From the Block.
As in bringing back Bennifer?
Yes. And these hips don't. Oh no,
that's Shakira.
Okay, wrong. Sorry, Jenny.
Come on, where's some Jenny?
Her friends call her Jenny.
What else, Jen?
But yes, J-Lo started following us. Yep. Honestly,
at the beginning,
it was early. So it was our first really viral video. It was our first video that went viral.
Oh, okay. So what constitutes a viral video?
I don't even know.
More than your mother?
A bunch where you can't keep up with the notifications. You're like, what's happening?
Wow. What was the video?
It was quick. My kid and I were making fun of homeschooling.
Oh, okay.
It was a voiceover. Like it wasn't original content. It was a voiceover.
TikTok does a lot of there's original audio and you lip sync to the audio. It was one of those? It
was one of those.
Okay.
It took us 2 seconds.
You went viral.
We went viral.
And J-Lo.
And you don't know who sees your videos. It tells you a number of who sees your videos. But my kid's kind of looking through our feed and he was like, Mom, what does a blue check mark mean?
Stop.
And I'm like, oh, let me see. And he was like, is this the lady from the Super Bowl? And I'm like, yeah.
From the Super Bowl. I love that that's how he knows J-Lo.
Yeah. So I'm like, her thumb slipped. We all know this, okay? Except 3 days later, she does the same video. Yes.
No.
Yes. With A-Rod and her kids. She does the same video.
So we just heard right here why A-Rod and her did not work out and why Ben Affleck will be doing videos with J-Lo after.
Yes, right.
That's what I heard out of this thing.
Maybe she can make him a follower too. I mean, watch all these ripple effects.
Wait a second. Yes. So, but is she still a follower?
She is.
How many did she follow?
At the time, she was following like 38. Maybe now it's more. I to be honest, I don't.
We don't check the blue check every day. This is why Jesus won't let me have a TikTok. Because That would be JW's job. I'd be
Right,
like,
right.
listen, you need to just quit everything else and check the blue check.
Yeah, you do. You have to have a little bit of space and distance from it. Like there are some people that make this their job and they post 6 videos a day, and we post a video every 6 days. Like,
oh, okay.
Like we are just, I mean.
Are you still loving it?
We have lives. Yes, it's a blast.
It's a blast.
It's a blast. I love acting in particular,
and
which
that
is
segued into this acting.
A little bit. I mean, like I said, they were happening, but acting to me is about being a good listener, and being a good listener is about being 100% present. And it's like you can have these moments of inspiration, but if you think about it too long, you move into them on faith, right? But like if you think about it too long, if you analyze it too long, the moment will pass you by, you know? Wow. And so it's like, being a good listener allows you to be totally open and just kind of respond and react and receive instead of think something into existence, you know? And that's what I was doing before. And
you're kind of being generous as an actor.
Yeah, there is a lot of generosity.
You're having to think, whereas where I can see what you're saying, especially with TikTok, where, I mean, not that you don't care about your audience. We care deeply, J-Lo. About you and now Ben.
Don't go.
I mean, seriously. What? I'll have nothing to live for. So I love that. Would you say that TikTok gave you permission to go into acting?
I think so.
Permission to be extraordinary, because that's kind of a little theme of this show. What gave you permission to be extraordinary in this section of your life that I know, because I've known you so long in your heart, that you've always wanted to act, and now you're doing it, and you're still a faithful Catholic woman with 5 kids, right? 5?
We're real close.
It's not next week's show. Okay, y'all, I am crushing it. NBC should be calling any moment. Okay, so what gave you permission to be extraordinary?
I
as
think
a woman?
I think it's just that. I think that it's the acceptance of I am going to do it wrong, and that's okay.
Okay.
And I've even been doing it wrong in front of 400,000 people, and it's still okay.
J-Lo's still there.
That will be my measure for success for the rest of my life. Jenny, are you there? We're still good.
Did you let her know you're going to LA? I mean, she might want to hang out. So let's talk about that, shall we? You get into this class, which I think is hilarious because it is not for adults.
No.
It's for children.
Yeah.
But they loved you, which is shocking. And
so sweet, so
I mean,
kind.
come on. And
I've
they're
been
like,
weaseling my way in to things like
I'm sure I'm going to call them up and be like, so I know someone else who can do classes if you need me. And you start doing these classes. And I mean, you came alive during the great pause. During TikTok, but really, I got to be honest. It's watching you as a mom and as a woman and as your friend evolve into not only someone that you always knew you were, but that who you are.
right.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's one thing to want that, and then it's one
Right.
thing to actually be incredible at it. So I want to hear quickly. So many questions. I'm gonna pace myself. You're about to go to LA. This is going to air after you go to LA. You have an agent here in Texas. You're about to go to LA to audition, to spend 10 days there, doing your thing. You've been training all year. You now know you can. You also have the permission that if it doesn't happen, doesn't happen.
Right.
It's not like your family. You're not 20 living in your car.
Right.
And your splash, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody forgot. It was a splash.
a lot of room
J-Lo
back
isn't
there in that
actually
couch.
calling you to be a backup dancer.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
nothing like really, you know what I mean? Like you're getting to go and do this because you want to go and
Right.
do this. And you're doing it with your son.
Right.
Sum up for me, because
Yeah.
isn't this what they do on E-News and stuff? They're like, so in one sentence,
In one
what was it
sentence.
like winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What was it like being J-Lo on the stage? What is this like that you're going to LA
Yeah.
to audition? This is the pre-show. Tell me, where are
you
you
know,
at?
there is a lot of power in not really caring about an outcome. And I don't like to use the word not caring because I do care.
Peace?
But I don't need
Peace about the outcome?
Yeah. I don't need anything. And so if we go and something fantastic happens, what a celebration. If we go and nothing happens, what a journey. So I regret nothing. I mean,
Great.
so I feel a lot of power heading in there, and in that way, it can just be fun.
You have changed so much. Like seriously, doing your podcast. Can I
Of course.
peek behind the curtain,
Sure.
if you will.
Yeah.
Allison would always have everything written. You'd have everything written. Everything. My response is even like she was prepared. And when I have a women's conference called Genius, we'll see if that ever comes back. The pause knocked that wind out of those sails. But you would have it written. you have gotten comfortable in your skin? Do you feel that way? Like, do you feel like you have accepted you and your voice?
I think that what happens is that we've grown up writing, right?
Yeah.
And then you're measured
Right.
in how you write.
Right.
So we grew up with that experience. So there's, what if I do it wrong?
Yeah.
You might actually do it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and even speaking, we grow up like speaking to one another. People obviously do it well or poorly. I mean, you know, and so what if you do it wrong? With acting, because I did not care about doing it wrong, I've been able to generalize that. Like, I don't care about doing it wrong. It's okay. It's okay to mess up.
You really are free.
There's something
You really
really
let go.
endearing about even when you do mess up. It's
love it.
okay.
I love it.
You know,
and can always
so-
do another take.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Except for this,
That one
because-
stays in the drafts, man.
I love it. And I want to come back in this next segment. We're going to play a little bit of a game, because here's the thing. The network that has started this show, they're in Connecticut and Long Island. And we're creating this show in Texas, in Houston, which we've mentioned a few times. Now, people can watch it anywhere they want, because I don't know if you know, that's how the internet works. And they can listen on a podcast app, because, again, it's 2021. So it doesn't matter that we have a network that's, backing
Right.
this
You'd
somewhere
be surprised
else.
how much I need explained to me.
Well,
Liv.
I'm just trying to explain it to you. But I thought we could come back and tell them a little bit about Texas.
Let's do it.
Since that's where we are. And I'd like to hear maybe you brag a little bit on Silas. Maybe we just kind of end in this little mother-son little amazing situation, if you will, with what that is like, and then we'll play a game, we'll do something fun, because this is a late night show. We're getting there. This is our first one. I can't wait for a year from now. Listen, if this is what it still looks like a year from now, I will hang up my hat. Okay? But it better be, I want a band. I want a live audience.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? I want you part of it.
Yes.
All right, you guys, you are watching and listening to It Is Not That Late with Liv Harrison. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison and Taylor Schroll. You guys, today was Halloween Day. It starts off the Triduum of All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, All Souls Day. November 1st is a holy day of obligation. But before, you get to trick or treat with your kids and wear costumes and do all the things. So I was dressed up for this episode. Father Daryl was my guest. He was dressed up. But we wanted to do something because Taylor was in town and I live here. Instead of having like great Halloween candy, I thought I'm going to do this. One of my top 10 favorite films, just listen, is Meet Me in St. Louis. And in that film, they have a cake for Halloween. And every year I asked my mom if we could have a cake for Halloween. And every year she said, no, you get a ton of candy, Liv. You don't need cake. It might've been because I was chubby, but anyway.
None of this makes sense so far.
It's true.
Hey, you're not allowed cake, but you could have a bag full of candy.
Well, that was free. She wasn't going to go get a Halloween cake. Like, we were already going to have candy all night. She was like, why would we have cake? I don't know. But I mean, I'm just saying Judy Garland had cake in Meet Me in St. Louis. So I always wanted to have cake for Halloween. It's true. And so I was thinking about shipping one in, because I like to ship in things. You hate this. So
No, I love it. It's free stuff for me.
I
every
know.
time
I
come
send
here.
him stuff, but anyway. So we have some cupcakes under here that I've cut up, and I have the answers under this card because we don't have an assistant today. It's just you and me, kid. And we're going to close our eyes.
I think you introduced your
Close your
assistant on this episode.
You're going to close your eyes. We might have.
Can we break the fifth wall for a second?
We've broken all the walls.
We're recording this part months later because Nathan was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he's
and we were
not.
supposed to play a candy game, and we don't have candy, so we're playing cupcakes.
So we're doing Judy Garland. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to do a taste test and see if we know cupcakes. Can I have that water over there, by the way? I need some for the cupcakes. Okay, so there are 5 different cupcakes. I'm not going to tell you what the options are. I'm not going to tell you anything, okay? And we're going to have to try them, but you got to close your eyes. You can't look.
How am I supposed to get the cupcake from under there into my mouth?
You're going to close your eyes, and you're going to feel the paper towel, and you're going to take it off, and then you're going to start putting cake in your mouth.
I'm wearing black. Like there's going to be cupcake all over me.
You're excited about this.
Oh yes. I forgot. I love cupcakes.
Do you?
Yeah, and when I can see them.
Don't cheat. Okay, so everyone who's listening, enjoy this little me and Taylor eating cupcakes for Halloween. Exactly. Those of you watching, I don't know what to say.
I feel like this is, like what I feel like this is. It's just like at Halloween where you go to like, what are they called? The scary houses. What are they called?
Like a haunted house.
Haunted house. There you go. We were prepared for this. I feel like you like put your hand into a box and you don't know what it is. That's what I feel like this is.
That's the point.
Okay.
But this isn't going to be like.
Do I eat the cupcake yet?
Okay, take off the paper towel. Okay, my eyes are closed, Taylor. Move the paper towel.
Wait, I thought, what?
What? Move the paper towel, Taylor. No, you know what's bad is that we don't know if we have the same cupcake that we're looking at.
Well, I do because my eyes are open. And I didn't remove the whole thing. Just pick one out from under it like I'm doing.
Here, where are you at? Okay.
This is great.
All right, ready?
Sure.
Go.
Okay.
I don't know if I can eat this many cupcakes.
It was chocolate.
Yeah.
It was brown.
That was totally chocolate. Which I have to say, oh.
This is a disaster.
I just spit cupcake out.
I have one question. Do you think this segment would have gone better with candy?
Probably.
I don't. Because I'm not sure either of us know what we're doing. Happy Halloween!
All right, get the next one. Oh,
Okay.
I keep spitting out cupcake.
Eyes closed. Oh,
Oh, I just hit the mic.
Okay.
I just hit the mic
Eating
with the
cupcake.
cupcake.
Oh, gross. I don't like this one.
I don't, yeah.
I don't like it. The first cupcake tasted like you imported it from somewhere good.
Yeah.
The second cupcake tasted like a child made it at a church pavilion.
Or like the Easy Bake Oven. You had sisters.
I think those were slightly higher quality than what I just ate.
This did taste like, why am I like not able to do this? This did taste like church fair bazaar, like you buy it like 50 cents for one thing.
We might have to go through the experience again because we're not sure if we just ate the same cupcake or not.
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Because you're looking?
Because I looked.
Okay.
Okay, wait, now go up. Yeah, go that way. Yep.
I don't know what that means.
Go here.
Go this one?
This. Fill my hand.
My eyes are open. I can look at it without looking at it because I'm a human grown adult that cannot look at things.
I think people are going to love when I do these.
Oh, almond. There's an almond.
Are you allergic?
Yep.
What?
No.
Oh my God.
You opened your eyes though when you thought I was dying.
I did. I was going to save you.
Chubby bunny.
Now that's something else that we used to do in youth ministry all the time. We recorded something about youth
That one
ministry.
tasted like almonds. An almond cupcake.
But that's like the wedding cupcake, like wedding places, wedding receptions.
It kind of tastes like marriage, to be honest. It's like you mostly like it, but there's parts of it that kind of suck.
No, marriage.
Who said that?
Who said that? I'm in a good place in my marriage, but I get it. There's been times where I've been like, we're in a good spot right now.
You were just in New York for 17 days, and your husband is currently gone.
19 days. And my husband is now in Pittsburgh. We were home together 24 hours.
So tips for, you didn't think you were going to get tips for a healthy marriage, but just don't spend any time together and you'll be in a good place.
That's actually the wrong thing to do. I would like to recommend don't leave your spouse for 19 days.
I would like to recommend that to you.
I FaceTimed him so much. He was like, I can't even tell that you're gone. Okay. Are you ready?
Sure.
Go to the next one. I'm going to get sick. This one is falling apart. Is yours falling apart?
Yep.
That's weird.
I'm watching it fall apart.
Oh.
Ah.
Almost choked. That's my favorite one.
Nilla.
Oh my God.
Nilla. I like Nilla.
So good. That is fantastic. Okay. I keep burning into my microphone. Why are my eyes so closed?
I'm still not quite like you put the cupcake in your mouth, which is where the secret ends. And then I've watched you keep your eyes shut for 20 seconds after every cupcake. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
This is my favorite segment of this show so far. I love this. Like we are literally just wasting time.
It's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Halloween candy would have made more sense, but
It wouldn't.
I didn't have. I just spilled water everywhere. Okay, we have one left. I don't know if I can do it.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
All right, let's do it. We just got to get it done with. Final cupcake.
Close your eyes.
No.
Taylor, do it.
This one's dry.
It is.
I don't like it. We didn't even get to try the pink kind, and that's the kind I liked.
You did try the. I keep spitting. All right. I know all the answers.
Yep.
Are you ready? Number 1, chocolate.
Yep. You spit on me. Thank you.
Did I really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. This is terrible. Number 2, strawberry. That was the one that was like, you have it on your beard.
I know. This is
Why'd you freak out?
because you touched my mouth.
I was trying to help. That's one that tasted like a kid, or like the bad one from
Oh, that's weird.
a church bazaar. It didn't taste like strawberry at all. Good gosh, how much do we have all over us?
I told you this is a bad
Messy.
idea.
This was a terrible idea. Number 3 was almond, which tasted like Mary.
Almonds.
Now, number 4 at the bakery that I got it from, they call it special white cake. Are we allowed to say special white?
I think the chocolate one was very special too. It's just my opinion.
I'm just saying. Like, I don't know if we should say that. Like, I think
I just realized that was a joke because my wife's chocolate colored, and almonds, which I said were marriage, is what we are together.
Yeah.
White on the inside and brown on the outside.
you have children. 3 of them.
Yep, that was the point I was making.
Oh my gosh, but that white special cake is my favorite. But that's one that crumbles, I guess, because it's so whatever. And the last was Italian cream, which was awful. Italian cream
There's a joke in there about white people being flaky. But that's a whole other thing.
It's not that late. So that was our Halloween eating. Oh, golly. Now I know why my mom didn't want me to have cake on Halloween. Do you guys do anything special? Like, is there any kind of... I'm cleaning this
For
up.
the radio audience,
I'm
she's
cleaning
literally
this
just
up.
cleaning right
I'm literally
now.
cleaning, which I don't clean. I don't know. Okay, it's bothering me. But do you guys do anything? Like, do you have any traditions for Halloween? Like something that you eat?
Yeah, what we do is we go and we get dressed up. And we go around our neighborhood and we knock on our neighbors' houses.
Stop.
And they want us to go away so much that they give us free cupcakes to leave.
They do not give you cupcakes. They give you candy.
I once received a whole cake.
Are you serious?
No. Tried to salvage this disaster of a segment.
I love this segment. Watch people write in and be like, that was the best segment I've ever seen. They might.
Really?
Listen, I'll tell you, I have a friend and they eat chili cheese dogs every single Halloween. That is what they eat. And then I have friends who do tamales. That's not you.
That was racist. She said tamales and then pointed at me.
I was like, maybe it was you. Maybe you do tamales.
No.
That's not you?
No. But I almost...
Or chili?
I almost got arrested on Halloween when I was a kid.
Why?
Because I ran from the police and they couldn't catch me.
Why were you running from the police?
So my cousin and I, there was a rule in, I guess I'll say the city, statute of limitations. We should be good. In Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And there was a rule that like once you hit like 13 or 14, I forget what it was. It was young-ish. It was like 13 or 14. I think once you were a teenager, you couldn't go trick-or-treating anymore.
No.
Like it was just for like 12 and younger, which I get it's mostly for kids. And it's weird that if an 18-year-old does it,
that's crazy.
But there still needs to be a transition time for, teenagers. Well, we didn't like that rule. So we got dressed up in costumes, mostly to cover our faces. And the cop car that was like stationed in the neighborhood to police the 13-year-olds getting free candy, they got out of their car and we took toilet paper and we wrapped their cop car.
You wrapped a cop car?
We did. And then they chased after us, but they were police who ate too many cupcakes and we were jumping over fences. And
you got away?
We got away and went back to their cop car and wrapped it some more while they were chasing us. And then we went back inside. Greatest Halloween ever.
Is that really your greatest Halloween ever?
100. I mean, who has a better story than that? It's the best. Much better
now you're a youth minister. Or you became one. And now you're with youth and you teach them. What if they did that to your car today? What would you do?
Oh, I think it'd be hilarious.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You wouldn't mind.
Oh, they'd be cleaning it up, but it'd be funny for them at the moment and me watching them the next day
What
clean
did
it
you
up.
dress up as? Do you even remember?
That time, I don't remember. But my best costume ever was, it was October 31st and I didn't have a costume. So I ripped one of my t-shirts and put on rollerblades. And I'm like, I'm a skater.
My sister-in-law, one time she went as a birthday party and her mom made like a table and she walked around like this with a table and it had like hats and plates and like, no. I thought that was really creative.
It's really strange.
I loved it.
What a strange ending to
My
the
mom-
strangest segment in It's Not That Late's history.
Well, you guys, that was the show. Thank you. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. That was, our 6-month show. We've done it. We've done 6 months of content. And that was just a great, just seeing the old stuff that who remembers that we did that 6 months ago. That was only 6 months ago. It feels like either a billion years or like yesterday. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're excited to see what we're doing next. I hope you come on the pilgrimages that we're going to be going on. They're going to be phenomenal. Going to be phenomenal. Out of the box, really different, so exciting. So I hope you join me. And I hope whenever you see the travel schedule, come out to a show whenever we're filming. If you're in Houston, let me know. Come be a part of the audience. And I'm always open for suggestions. You guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm excited to dive into 2022 with you. I couldn't do this without you. You are all extraordinary. Thanks so much for tuning into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Bye, y'all.